The video that I'm going to present here is cut into 4 sections. It's a live that I caught on TikTok from Harry B. Johnson, and he speaks about the soul spiritually and the physical form, the avatar that we live in, because we live in duality. He has a lot of good information that I feel you all need to know. Y'all need to study it, and y'all need to do the work. So here it is.
If we all woke up tomorrow and believed that money doesn't exist, the physical world would mirror that and the system would collapse. So they're mirrors, the unicorn and the lion. So the elites or a court can't send you to prison. They can only send your straw man to prison, the person on paper, your name. It's a corporation. Okay? Your name is a corporation, and that name is on paper, which is in the system. And that system is where the laws exist on paper. So they can only charge your corporation. They can't charge your soul because your soul is not attached to the corporation. But the moment you say, I am that name or the corporation, they can then charge you. So what is the first thing they do when they send you to court? The judge has to attach your soul to the living paper corporation. So what does the judge do? The judge says, are you Harry Joseph? Are you John Smith? The moment you say, yes, I am John Smith, you're now attaching your soul to the corporation that can now be charged. You submit yourself to the system. We submit ourselves to the system. And that's what this is representing. The soul, the world inside the mind, the imaginary world, and the true living physical world. So, it's a slave system that we participate in by free will because we are truly living free souls. Right? That's why symbolism is so powerful. It's so powerful, symbolism. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay, does that make sense? Yeah, beautiful. So look into that. It's very, very deep. There is 2 worlds that exist, and that's why the Freemasons show you what? The Freemasons show you the exact same symbolism here. The world in the mind, the moon, or the unicorn that you saw on the United Kingdom flag, the unicorn or the world inside the mind, and the sun pillar, which represents the world outside the mind, the physical world. You are the living soul, the awareness, the observer, and you're free. So there are always these 2 worlds which are parallel to each other, right? This pillar is called wisdom, or Boaz, and this pillar is beauty. Why? Beauty is all to do with the eyes, the physical eyes, what you see. Wisdom is an internal quality. So in Freemasonry, wisdom is represents the pillar, the world in your mind. The world in your mind. There are 2 worlds. The world in your mind and the world outside your mind, beauty. So this represents the visible world, the sun, and the world you can't see, the moon, the darkness. The world in the mind, the world outside the mind. You're the observer, the soul observing both. Right? So this is the war. The war is between the left and right pillar. It's the duality of life. What are you? What's in the English language? You are a dual nature. 2, you're dual. You have the world inside the mind, the living soul. You're the soul living inside the mind. And you're also a physical body. You're dual in nature. You are the observer living inside your mind, and the mind is inside the body, and they're mirrors of each other. Why? Think about this. Everything in your visible reality has been created from every single thought you thought in your invisible reality. Right? So, the world in the mind creates the world outside the mind. That's why they're they're twin pillars. They look identical. They're mirrors. You see how they're mirrors? Because the world in the mind is a reflection of the world outside the mind. You, in your mind, have created every single scenario outside of you. You are a result of every thought you thought in the past. So this is why they say the inner world creates the outer world. They're mirrors. These are the two parallel dimensions. I'm going to show you a little bit deeper now into the Masonic symbolism. Right, I'm going to show you. Where has it gone? It's on the Freemasonic staircase page. This is so important that we understand this, everyone. This is the basic functions of human consciousness that we're not taught in school. This is the 33rd degree logo of a Freemason. One looks to the right, one looks to the left. Integration, power, the crown, power, authority exists in integration between mind and body. This is the power of human consciousness. That's what Masonry is all about. It's about mastering human consciousness. Your power comes when you integrate both mind and body, and you unify them and gain connection. Right? And when you look into the future and the past, your power is in the present moment. The only power you have. That's why the word present is what? A present, a gift. This is your gift of creation, and you can only create and control the present moment. The present is your gift of creation. We all know the Freemasons use this logo, symbolizing the three ways the soul expresses energy: through thinking, the mental plane, emotion, the astral plane, and acting on the material plane. The three integrated into one, the one integrating the three, making the three one. Your thoughts, emotions, and actions as one force and not scattered force. Right? So it's integration of duality. This is what it's all about, people. Now, we all know, now you can see it a little bit better what I'm talking about. The world in the mind and the world outside the mind. You are the observer living inside the mind, thoughts, imagination, emotions, and the physical world outside of you, your actions. Just received my book. Thank you for creating it. It's an absolute pleasure. Enjoy. Which book did you get? The Book of Symbolism? How do you stay so inspired and focused every day for so long now? That's a good question. Sometimes I am tired, but all I want to do is wake people up. Not even wake people up. I want people to understand the power of themselves. The power of the mind is the most powerful force in the entire universe. It's created everything. Everything is an effect of the mind. We think it, we feel it, we imagine it, now it's here. So everything is a mental creation. We live in a mental world. You don't live in the physical body, you live in your mind. You're the observer living in your mind. All I want to do is to share, and that's why I've written these books, and they've helped hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people. You know, I don't want to sit here saying, oh, my books are great. I would let people in the comments say that, because I'm confident enough to say other people will tell you that. You know, these books are, you know, let people in the comments share their feedback. I don't want to say anything. You know, but it's so powerful when you realize this. And this is what Masons mean by darkness to light. Freemasons always talk about going from darkness to light. Darkness to light. What does it mean? Well, darkness represents something that you've forgotten, something that's now in the unconscious. But to light represents to bring it into awareness, become conscious of it, shed light on it. You know that, in this live how you have them aha moments, you're like, aha, I get it. He's just made me remember that I think, then feel, then I act. That's it. That aha moment is the light. It's bringing to light what you've forgotten, that's fallen deep into an unconscious state. And every day we're programmed to live in an unconscious autopilot way. We fall into ignorance and unconsciousness. But what I teach is to become conscious, become more aware, use the conscious mind, don't fall into autopilot mode. Like my old self, I was an NPC, I was an autopilot, right? It's so powerful that all this stuff is you, and you don't need to join any secret society. You can learn all this stuff yourself. How can I purchase the book? A lot of people are asking about the book. Is there anyone else wondering about the book? Can you talk about the left-hand path astrology?
On this next clip, he's talking about light and dark.
Try and analyze it, not logically, but subconsciously. What is the meaning? What is the sun trying to teach me? Well, it teaches you to be a light for people, to give and ask and to give and expect nothing back. Be love. That's the sun. That's why Jesus is associated with the sun. It's the biggest symbol of love there is. You know, God speaks in mysterious, symbolic ways. What's the checkerboard floor mean? Well, if you see here, right, the checkerboard floor represents where the physical world is. So this is the physical world, this is the spiritual world. The force and form. Force and formation. Force represents your emotions, your thoughts. There are forces that your body acts out. And that's what the physical world is. It's a duality of force and form. The force is thoughts and emotions. It's duality of creation. It also represents light and dark. When you walk upon light and dark, it symbolizes extracting wisdom from both light and dark. Extracting wisdom from both light and dark, right? Meaning you should extract the good out of the bad and extract knowledge from your good and bad experiences in life so you can advance mentally. It also symbolizes base consciousness, when someone is only identifying with their body and they have no higher knowledge of the light, which meaning higher knowledge of higher vehicles of consciousness that you possess. So meaning that your mind is not your brain. Your brain is a computer that says yes or no. Your mind has no limitation, right? Your mind is not your brain. Your brain just acts out the forces that commands it, the brain. Okay, so when people say you live in the spiritual, when people say you go to the spiritual world when you die, you know, it's not really true, because you already exist in the spiritual world. You are the observer living inside your mind. You're already in the spiritual world. Your mind is just inside this body. So what the dark elites do, they're dark occultists. They aim to produce veils. So evil, rearranged, is veil. A veil is an illusion. And this is what the dark elite do. They aim to create illusions in your mind so you never wake up to your true immortal soul. They just make you trapped in this illusion of the physical world, make you believe in evolution, make you believe in the heliocentric model. Everything they do is to place veils and illusions in your mind so you never wake up, to keep you focused on the world outside you. Right. So, do we have souls? We are souls. If you turn off your mind, who are you? You're the awareness of the mind. You're the one listening to the thoughts and the voice in your head. You are the soul. You are eternal. You never die, ever. You're an eternal soul, experiencing the world in your mind and the world outside your mind. The mind and body connection. How do we change then? We change by changing the mind. Because think about it, right? If you think of stress, what happens to your hair? Your hair turns grey. Which shows that the mind holds influence over the body. So if you think stress in your mind and your body responds to that, that means the power of the mind holds power over the body, not the body holds power over the mind. We should place the mind first, then the body underneath it. Because the body needs to become a servant to the mind. Not the mind being a servant to the body, which is exactly what people are stuck in and what I was stuck in. My mind was a servant to my body. Okay? Meaning, whenever my body was hungry or wanted pleasure, I would simply act it out. And I felt horrible inside. I felt void. Life was meaningless because I was stuck in a repetitive cycle of my body dominating my mind. You know? When the body dominates the mind, what the body only wants, the body only wants pleasure. It's a survival mechanism. It's a animal. The mind is divine. It's spiritual, right? So, we have to make sure that our mind rules the body. Break the loop. Yeah, break the loop, exactly. Is there any codes left? Yes, there is codes left. Let me check how many there are. The code, we already know the code. There is 4 left. There's 4 codes left. And I'm going to take the hit of 30% off today. I'll take the hit of 30% off. Just use that code, 333. You'll save yourself 30% on the Book of Symbolism. Just click the link in my profile. It'll take you straight to my website, revivalofwisdom.com. And you can gain this information too, which will dramatically change your life. And I don't want to talk much about the book, but the people in the comments can tell you if it's helpful or not. Someone gardening. Yeah, there is someone gardening on my street. Did you write it? Yeah, that's my name there. Is there a PDF version of the Book of Symbolism? There isn't, no. Which book to start with? Okay, so for the people, if you're wondering which book should I get, most people who only buy one book, they mainly go for Book of Symbolism. They mainly go for Book of Symbolism. What's the key to not get controlled by thoughts? Meditation every single day. When you learn to meditate and become the observer and not lose yourself in the thought or the mental world, when you anchor yourself to awareness, you learn to anchor your consciousness to awareness, you learn to select thought from there. For example, the point where I'm at now in my journey, I can now choose which thoughts to empower. Because every time you focus on a thought, you're empowering that thought. And that thought will then turn into an emotion. And that emotion will turn into an imagination. That imagination will then turn into chemical reactions in your body. Right? So, mastery and purity of thought is the most powerful science or thing you can do in life. Meditation daily can really, really help you to anchor yourself to awareness, and instead of living on autopilot in your mind, in your thinking mind. That can really help you. Is astral projection real? Yeah, astral projection's a funny subject for TikTok. I do have, I don't want to say it too many times, but there is a whole method which I've been using, I've talked about in this book, and it's to do with the middle pillar at the beginning of the book somewhere. Yeah, it's talks about it here, in this bit. Yeah, we have a whole method of astral projection inside the book. Is astral projection the same as remote viewing? I would say so, yes, but remote viewing is, it depends how much control you have over it. It's okay, so when you leave your body, it is the most powerful experience you'll ever get, because you no longer believe you're eternal. I used to believe I was eternal, but then when I left my body for the first time, that belief transformed to knowingness, and that completely changes your life, because you then, fear goes out the window, right? You no longer fear, because you don't die. You can't die. It changes everything about you. And it gives you access to places, things, and certain people in that place that you can talk to, gain wisdom from. And that is the ultimate goal. It feels real. It feels more real than it does this world. And the reason I say that is because in the astral plane, here, right, we're experiencing senses of the nervous system. We're experiencing senses. But when you leave this flesh, the nervous system, you don't feel senses, you feel feeling. Your whole astral body is to do with feeling and vibration. Right? So you're not feeling nerves and electrical signals produced by your brain. You're now feeling true feeling, sensation, or vibration. It is the most, when you first do it, the feeling is, it's like a beautiful tingling sensation all over your body when you first get out. And it really changes your life. It's mind-blowing. Do you recommend Reiki? Whatever helps you. Let's go to the next. Fasting is powerful. Yeah, fasting can also help you get out of the body. Does the book mention anything about the sixth sense? It talks about the heart and how the heart is the sixth sense, because the energy. Well, sorry, not this book. No, I'm lying. The Book of Wisdom, Volume 2 talks about that. How the heart is a energy vortex center. Your heart emanates a field. But because it's emanating, it's also gaining the energy in your surroundings and bringing it back into your heart. So your heart, right? I talk about this. Where is it? Here it is. Here it is. The heart's electromagnetic field, EMF, is a powerful tool for sensing and interacting with environment, acting as a bridge between our internal state and the world surrounding us. Scientific research has demonstrated that the heart often perceives and processes environmental changes before the brain does. This precognitive ability allows the heart to initiate a response that can influence our thoughts, emotions, and physical reactions. So, when you walk into a room and you feel like there's just an energy off, there's just something off, or you're around a negative person and you can feel their energy, That's not your brain picking that up. It's your heart's sixth sense, which is your energy field. So in Freemasonry, they always talk about the G or the heart. It's all about developing spiritual connection with the heart, because the heart is the place of energy, vibration, and frequency. It is that center of consciousness. I have crazy intuition. Yeah, and women naturally do. Women naturally do have a higher amount of intuition than men. That is a gift. Male and female are obviously equal, but that is very true. Women do have a very deep sense of intuition. No one can lie to me. Yeah. And a lot of it to do, you can apply the mind with intuition as well. You can use the mind to study body language, because the body's always acting out the forces of the mind. So you can always pick up when someone's lying through body language and your frequency reading of them, of that individual. Yeah, social cues. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Is telekinesis possible? It is, yes, but I don't want to talk about that on TikTok Live. People can use that for the wrong reason. Telekinesis, sorry, not telekinesis. I mean telepathy. Telepathy is real, because all around us is a mental plane. I talk about it in the Book of Wisdom, Volume 2. The different planes of consciousness: the Buddhic, the mental, the astral, the etheric, the physical. All surrounding us is an astral plane, an etheric plane, and a realm of thoughts. That's why different environments have different thoughts. You can go to different places and gain different ideas, different mental atmospheres. You go into churches, your mind feels different, you gain different thoughts in these places, right? Because everywhere is a part in the mental field. And if you have a strong enough will force and emotional control and inner stillness, you can direct thoughts into the unconscious mind of an individual. You can, it is possible. And there are a lot of books talking about that. Occult books. If you have a strong willpower. So the soul ties is true. Yeah, they're more mental ties than anything, you know. Can you defend against it? Not particularly. It depends how strong-willed you are. It depends how strong your energy field around your body is. If it's very on a low frequency, then it can be penetrated easily. But again, there's very few people who can do that. You have to be very trained in willpower, imagination, and emotional control to project a thought consciously. But like I said, before you move on to thought projection, you have to master the basics of mastering your own mind. Before you can even think about penetrating a thought into someone else's field, that's the deep end stuff. You have to learn to tame your own mind. You know, you have to learn to tame your own mind and body, not act on impulse of the body's desires. Through self-examination. When people say how, like, how do I do this? Just examine yourself. Do you act impulsively? Every time you feel the urge for lust, do you act on it? Every time you feel the urge for food, do you act on it? Every time you have a thought, do you feel the feeling instantly? Like, examine, it's all self-examination. It's not like I can teach you how to do it, right? It's all self-induced work, inner work, you know? So reflect, self-examination, work on yourself day by day of trying to master inner impulses in your life. Where do we start? Start with simply just meditating every day. You know, don't start this journey of, oh, I want to learn how to project thought in someone else's mind. Start the journey because you want to be better. You want to have full control of your mind and body for your destiny in this reality, in your life. And ultimately, when you die, the only thing you take is your mind. Because you are the soul, the observer living inside your mind. Your body dies, right? So your state of mind is the most important thing for when you die. That is your preparation for death. And if the mind is not in the correct condition, it cannot pass on to the astral plane for very long. You know? So I'm at low frequency. I don't know. I don't know you, but you know, we all start somewhere. It's not about your frequency. It's about how you feel. Do you feel like you have control of your life? If not, no. Then work on trying to control your mind and rebuild your mind. Do you feel like you have, or do you sense that you have limiting belief systems that hold you back? Are you freely expressing yourself when you're around people? These are questions you should ask yourself, and if you find the answer is no, then try and free yourself from any of these illusions or blockages and mental blockages in your mind. Because when there's blockages in your mind, your soul can't express itself through the body correctly, and tension builds up in the unconscious, and it gets bigger, darker, and it controls you more and more and more as it grows, as you feed this insecurity or whatever it is, this limiting belief. It's very, very powerful, right? Cravings and attachments, yeah, that's a very big one as well. Then it implodes in your body. Exactly, yeah. So, yeah, tension in the unconscious can then directly influence the body in bad ways. It's very hard to break it. It is, yeah. Inner work is harder. It's easier to dig a hole all day than do inner work on your mind. It's easier to go at war with other people than it is at war with your own mind. It's easier to conquer the world than it is to conquer your own mind. It is the hardest work there is. You know, I'm not going to downplay it. It is the hardest work. Because essentially you're fighting with your mind and your ego doesn't want to change. There's a part of you that loves your mind, and there's a part of you that hates your mind. Right? There is a part of you that loves lust, that loves these lower desires, but then there's also a part of you that feels empty from it. You have to battle that and seek the middle path between them. There's many different characters in our mind, and our job is to balance that out and trying to neutralize it, you know? Well, that's what I talk about in my books and university and all my work. For now, I'm going to work on reprogramming my mind. Beautiful. Yeah, that's a great...
On the next clip is the planes of consciousness. The heart. Take a listen to.
My unconscious opened up so much that it's like I remembered I've done this before. It was a weird feeling. When you astral project, you regain memory. You're like from the unconscious. You regain memory. And when I astral projected, I regained the memory of dying before. Like I felt intuitively that I've done this many times. It's very, very strange. Very, very strange. Book title, please. Yeah, the book is Book of Wisdom. But listen, all the codes were taken, everyone. I'm only going to create 5 more if you want me to. Would you like me to create 5 more codes? If not, we'll just, we'll end it here, because I'm going to have to love and leave you all here. I could create 5 more codes so people can save. Okay. Thank you for your time. It's a pleasure. No worries. It's an absolute pleasure. I thank you for your knowledge. Oh, it's a pleasure. No worries. Enjoy. It's amazing to have you all here. And make sure you're following me to listen to more. Make sure you're in the Telegram. The Telegram is in my bio. And yeah, a love and light to every single one of you.